The political heat in South Africa just got turned up several notches, and this time, it's the MK party throwing the first flaming spear directly at the heart of President Cyril Ramaphosa's presidency. In a bold and provocative move, the MKP has officially submitted a request to the Speaker of the National Assembly to consider its no-confidence motion in President Ramaphosa. Their reason? His failure to fire Water and Sanitation Minister Senzo Mchunu, despite the growing chaos in South Africa's water crisis. It's not just another political stunt, this is a direct shot at the core of Ramaphosa's leadership, and it could have far-reaching consequences for the presidency, the ANC, and the country at large. When the MK party speaks, many dismiss it as noise from a populist movement. But this time, they came prepared with fire in their words and strategy in their steps. The letter submitted to the Speaker didn't just ask for consideration, it demanded accountability, urgency, and decisive parliamentary action. According to the MKP, Ramaphosa has repeatedly ignored red flags about Senzo Mchunu's performance, or lack thereof, while communities across the country are left without clean running water, pipes are bursting, infrastructure is decaying, and municipalities are crying out for support that never comes. The tipping point. The party says it's tired of waiting for Ramaphosa's imaginary long game and is now pushing for real political consequences. This move didn't come out of the blue. For months, critics have pointed fingers at Mchunu's department for failing to address the water and sanitation disasters plaguing the nation. From Hammanskraal to Giani, the water situation has reached embarrassing levels. Citizens are forced to queue at unsafe boreholes, drink from polluted streams, and beg for water tankers that never arrive. Meanwhile, billions have been poured into water infrastructure budgets that seem to evaporate without results. And while Mchunu gives carefully scripted media responses and glowing progress updates, communities say the situation on the ground remains dire. What shocks political observers most is that Ramaphosa has done virtually nothing about it. No reprimand. No cabinet reshuffle. No accountability. For the MK party, this isn't just incompetence, it's dereliction of duty. And so they're going for the jugular, a no-confidence motion meant to rattle the foundations of the union buildings and force Parliament to ask, is this the leadership South Africa needs? The motion, if approved by the Speaker, could spark one of the most intense debates in Parliament this year. It's not every day a president faces the threat of removal for shielding a minister, but South Africa is not in ordinary times. Ramaphosa's grip on power is increasingly fragile, and this motion could become a lightning rod for all the frustration that's been bubbling under the surface, not just about water, but about crime, load shedding, unemployment, and rampant corruption. Already, opposition parties are watching closely. The EFF hasn't publicly backed the MKP motion yet, but they've hinted that they see Ramaphosa's presidency as weak and bloated with dead weight. The DA, on the other hand, may not align with MKP politically, but they too have slammed Mchunu's handling of the water portfolio. That leaves the possibility, however slim, of a surprising cross-party coalition against the president. And if enough ANC backbenchers feel the heat from their own constituencies about service delivery failures, some may choose to jump ship when the time comes to vote. But it's not just the motion itself that's explosive, it's the message it sends. This is a challenge to the ANC's long-standing practice of protecting ministers at all costs. In a country where reshuffles rarely result in accountability and underperformers are quietly recycled into new posts, the MKP is saying, not this time. Their motion isn't just a jab at Ramaphosa, it's an indictment of the entire machinery of state failure. Ramaphosa, for his part, has remained silent on the matter so far. No official comment has come from the presidency in response to the MKP submission. But behind closed doors, there's no doubt that alarms are blaring. Ramaphosa has been struggling to maintain unity within a deeply fractured ANC. From the Fela scandal to the endless accusations of inaction, every new challenge chips away at the image he once tried to project, that of a calm, steady hand guiding South Africa through stormy waters. Now, even his supposed allies are asking whether the ship is sinking because the captain refuses to throw out the dead weight. As for Mchunu, he has shrugged off criticism in the past, arguing that systemic failures in water and sanitation go back decades and require time to resolve. That may be true, but communities aren't interested in excuses. They want action. They want taps that work. They want officials who don't just make promises at press conferences and then disappear. The MKP knows this, and they're channeling that anger into political capital. Of course, this motion could backfire. If it fails to gain enough support, it may only strengthen Ramaphosa's position temporarily. The ANC will likely close ranks to protect their leader, portraying the motion as a distraction or political grandstanding. But even if it fails, the very act of pushing it forward will put the president's failures under a national spotlight once again. It will force Parliament to debate not only the water crisis, but the broader question, can South Africa survive more years of this kind of leadership? The ball is now in the Speaker's court. Will she allow the motion to go forward? Will Parliament get the chance to debate the fitness of a president whose own ministers are presiding over the collapse of basic services? Or will this be another case of the ANC using its majority to shield itself from scrutiny? Whatever happens next, one thing is clear, the MK party has set the stage for a political confrontation that could define the rest of Ramaphosa's term. The water crisis, long ignored, has now become a symbol of everything that's broken, and the president's refusal to act decisively may be what finally cracks the dam. Stay tuned, because South Africa's political temperature just went from simmering to boiling. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Ramaphosa face a no-confidence vote over Mchunu? We'll be watching every twist and turn. See you in the next one.